songs and blazing mine for 5 decades? Yeah, about that. Jack Kelly has passed and left us. We are going to celebrate that on the 8th of March.
18th.
18th of March. See, Lee, I told you it was the 18th.
18th and 19th.
18th and 19th of March. Sorry about that. Glad I've got to tell a lot of other people right now. Anyway, we're going to celebrate that with a lot of good music by a lot of people that have also had the joy of having him in their house. And Jack's a character. So that's all we can all say when we talk about him. Because my husband says, if you think you know Jack, you don't know Jack.
In his house or in his bed?
He's got a.
We aren't going to talk about that.
He's got a CD named "You Don't Know Jack."
Yeah, I know he does. The truth is what it was. Okay, I'm tonight going to share some of the things that he liked when I was reading poetry back when a lot of it was just getting written. That was the early 70s. To a straight Joe. Joe Riley, you say that I am rutting. Well, maybe you were right. But I think it's just that we see things through an entirely different light. But I'm always game to listen. Of truth I have no dread, so tell me why you think I'm running and let me know what's in your head. You see, Joe Riley, I hate to admit this, but I'd forgotten about you. I've been so long free in my world of timeless space and recaptured taste that I had forgotten you still exist out there in the other world of plastic food and paper-mache extensionist, where nourishment for body or soul comes from paper bag and centerfold. You come on strong. Masters and Johnson would be proud, and Kinsey would name you too. But I meant coffee in that Saul when I let you take me home and told you of my plan to truck on out of here and get back to the land. You called it running. So I made coffee and listened, really tried to see it as you do, but I find those structures entirely too restricting to my view. You see, to me, your security is a suffocating box, your face a clock, timing every word, move, dream. I do not call it living. That assiduous, messing with time, moving like ants down there in the sand, busy, 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 busy. Just working for the man. I want my future filled with open space where today makes more sense than retirement pay and love is more than a tussle in a bucket seat. I really am sorry, Joe Riley, that your world has made you lonely. But my love is free when I decide, and for today I'll just have to say thank you for the ride and wave as you continue on round that track you pace. You see, I think it is you who runs an Algernon in Charlie's little race. This one I wrote for and about Jack. Those who know Jack, think they know Jack, will know what I'm talking about. She offers her pinpoint to the pesky love bug. So unceremoniously had he landed and soundless upon the page, the fallen victim of a breeze's pranks. And now, there he lies, helpless upon his winged back, trapped between the lines she wrote, of man, of woman, of love, of hope. So she offers her pinpoint. Without hesitating, he climbs aboard, pausing not even long enough to utter thanks, as he wings away to join his mate among the flowers. But she does not mind this lack of gratitude. They were friends, and after all, the average life of a love bug is 48 hours. I see some other people understand that one too. This one he liked. It's one I don't do very often because it's a hard story. It was the story of my husband who died in 1969, which is why my world turned around in 1969, and I went from being a good little church-going sweetheart to being a wild and roving hippie. So yes, Rod, you and I are the only real hippies here.
We're beatniks.
We're beatniks. We're prior to that. Yes, my first music was over there across from the University of Tampa, at that little bongo coffee house there.
The
Anyway.
hungry brain.
I never remember names, you know that, not my own some days. But it was a favorite place for a few years until we discovered Bose. This is Calvin's story. I do this one to honor all who've served in any of these ridiculous wars we've all been going through, and unfortunately, I'm afraid we'll be going through again. But, you know, it is history and fate. Calvin's story. On CNN recently, I heard a doctor has found relief for Desert Storm vets suffering a strange malady. Damn it, it's hard to read. Let me start again. On CNN recently, I heard a doctor has found relief for Desert Storm vets suffering a strange malady. Headaches, sleep disorders, weight loss, chronic fatigue. The symptoms I remember you suffering, Calvin, when from Uncle Sam's Korean conflict. Yes, I remember too well your suffering, your desperate attempts to hang on to your dignity while the doctors spent their energies convincing you that you were crazy, insisting your headaches were mental, your fatigue a character fault. I remember how they got you high and kept you there on morphine until you defied them, went cold turkey to shake that monkey off your back.
Yeah, you better try again. That's not
Next, they introduced you to Demerol, but again you fought back, so they substituted the latest wonder drug, Talwin, assuring me that it was not addictive. By then, tormented with pain and no fight left, you were quiet, doped and pacified by the disability pay. And I remember your story. The story about the time 3 years after your discharge when the government summoned you, put you up in a fancy hotel, sequestered you for a checkup. You told me later of that first night there in the hotel over scotch and soda you saw a face. He looked so damn familiar, you recounted, but something was wrong. The other face stared back at you, mirror facing mirror. The same question in those eyes, until moments later, a few words exchanged, they both realized, my God, we served together. Together you looked around the lounge, noticed others, wasted just like yourselves, wearing the faces of your buddies. Buddies gathered round that bar, assembled on the city, on command. You reminisced through the night. Each recounted his mustering out for some physical or mental malady. Compared discharge dates, played catch-up, each describing symptoms. Syndromes, they call them these days. The years of suffering, the family lives destroyed by nerves, anguish, pain, irritability, excruciating headaches. Becoming thinner and thinner, shakier and shakier, degenerating day by day. You kidded about being just a bunch of grunts pulled from an infantry unit, stateside playing war games. You served together only temporarily. A special volunteer company assigned to handle 6 soldiers returned from the foreign shore. You joked about the tests that were to come, called yourselves a culture gathered to be slides and under the man's microscope. Within 5 years of this meeting, you were gone. Pancreatic cancer, it was called. I did not know what happened to the others. No one would listen when I told your story, though your Army psychiatrist did admit to me that he was not confident that this recollection was merely an illusion fashioned by a schizophrenic mind. But he was up for retirement and had no stomach for the consequence of pursuing it. As a young widow and 3 daughters to raise, I had no money to fight. Life went on. I was left with nothing but a flag. I gave it to your mother. We had a little war not too long ago, and as I say, we may be having more. This is my impression of war these days. CNN's live, real-time war, Desert Storm. We sit in our living rooms, watch generals make decisions right in the moment. Guns blast, bombs drop, bodies fall. Real fireworks fill the air. War, committed by electronics before dawn's early light. As soldiers and civilians die, we flip channels for our commercial breaks. Okay. Everybody come and let's go and check. That's going to be a part of it.